Hello everyone, I'm Lucian, and in this session I will be covering Oracle Linux integration with Enterprise Manager Cloud Control 13c. With this help of this integration, you can have access, for example, to a complete monitoring solution for your Oracle Linux systems. You can have a bare metal provisioning solution, and you can also have an automatic patch management solution. All that possible through Enterprise Manager Cloud Control 13c or 12c if you go for the older application. So let's begin with the monitoring part. As an ID, Enterprise Manager can monitor different types of Oracle applications, can monitor Oracle database, and with the help of this integration also Oracle Linux operating systems. So now we just press targets, then we'll go to hosts, and here you can see that I have multiple systems that I currently monitor. And just by logging on this screen, you can see the medium CPU utilization, medium memory utilization, and total I/O per second on a 24-hour interval. In order to see more detailedly, I will select one of the systems. In my case, it's also the Enterprise Manager that's being monitored, and by selecting it, we will be seeing a lot more details. Like for example, just by logging in, you can see the primary IP address. This is the IP address from which the server was added and have the agent installed on. You can see the fact that it's up in the latest 13 days. We're talking here about an Oracle Linux 6.7 version with the host name. We can also see the, for example, the kernel version that's also available here, medium CPU utilization, memory utilization, even swap from a total of 15 gigs, we have 800 megs left. We have a new KR3 kernel 3.8.13. Here is how the root file system looks like, and some informations about memory and CPU utilization in a more detailed way, but also file system distribution that's also available with this nice graphical interface. The CPU threads, you can see I have 4 cores, and you can change between percentage and value. In this case, it's memory. It's megabyte for network usage, and you can change the time range up to a week in this case, and you can see all of the changes. If you'd like, you can go more detailedly, so you can press CPU on the right side, and then you will see more detailed information with these graphs regarding CPU utilization, some average queue length, and the CPU threads utilization as well. You can go and there is a threshold, a specific threshold that shows you every 5 minutes it pulls the information from the local agent installed on the host or the virtual machine Oracle Linux, and then sends the information and populates them onto this graphical interface onto the Enterprise Manager Cloud Control. Now we've just pressed memory utilization, and here you can see again details also about swap utilization, virtual memory percentage. Um, and as you can see, it's a threshold every 5 minutes that pulls the information that can be changed accordingly to your needs. It can go lower up to 1 minute or a bit more. Of course, if you go lower and you have a more detailed view, then automatically workload will increase on the systems. Now regarding disks information, you can see SDA and the partitions there accordingly, and also informations about the file system and the logical volume groups. In my case, I'm using slash root, and 47% it's already occupied. I have a single volume group called VG, and now you can see a bit more information about the network cards. So I have two network adapters, and the first one was used for discovery process. The second one is a private network that I'm using on my system. Now you can also detailedly see informations about the processes that are running on the systems. Like for example, the main consumer in my case are Oracle database processes that can take up to 70% of memory utilization. And you can also visualize host services. There are now stopped ones, but if you go to all, you will see TTI, for example, spawned processes. Now let's proceed to bare metal provisioning. So this is the second part that I wanted to showcase. So besides the monitoring capabilities that is included with Oracle Linux Enterprise Manager, you also have the possibility to create bare metal provisioning or automatic installation of Oracle Linux operating systems with the help of an integration with a DHCP server, TFTP server, and the stage server, the location where the generated Kickstarter files are being hosted on. So let's have a look also on the infrastructure. We have a stage server. This is the location where the Kickstart file is. We have a TFTP server. This is the location for the PXE-boot necessary files. A DHCP server where where we have the configuration of and the reservation for IP address, and also I'm redirecting through the help of the DHCP server to the PXE-boot server. And an RPM repository, it's a mounted OL67 ISO, and there is the location for the RPM files. Important here to see in my process, I've already created that. It's the MAC address, so I'm creating the bare metal provisioning based on this specific MAC address, which has to match in order to start the PXE-boot process. I will also demo after I'm showing you the configuration on my VirtualBox environment, and I will be having a virtual machine with that exact MAC address. So remember the characters at the end 2C E3, they will match my virtual machine. Now you can also see some details regarding the deployment. So again, stage server, DHCP, and operating system details, like for example the packages that I want to install. It's going to be a full GUI Oracle Linux install. There'll be around 2000 packages being installed, so it's a full install. Some information about the disk layout. I have a slash of 24 gigs and a slash boot of 500 megs, and network again matches my my MAC address. And now we'll go to my VirtualBox environment. So I have my OEM virtual machine, which is the Enterprise Manager 13c. I have the PXE server. This is the place where the DHCP server is, the stage server, and the TFTP server. And I have the PXE client. That virtual machine will have that exact MAC address, and will proceed with the PXE boot process. Also, I have the OL patch. That virtual machine will, I'll show you a bit later, will be used. Their repositories will be used in order to install an HTTPD package onto an Oracle Linux 6, all remotely done through the help of the Enterprise Manager 13c interface. So let's proceed with PXE client. Here you can you'll see the boot process. So I'm starting this virtual machine, then I'm trying to network boot. So I'll press L to boot from LAN. Here you can see the MAC address. If you remembered, 2C is 3. This matches. For this, it will be allocated a specific IP address, and it redirects me to 3100 server, which is the Pixie server, and the necessary packages to create this boot process will happen right now, and then we will be proceeding with formatting the virtual disk on the Pixie virtual machine and installing the packages. Now it's about the ETA0 configuration. It will retrieve the install.img necessary for this process. It will format the virtual disk accordingly. If you remember, I have an SDA1, SDA2, and it's a slash boot and slash root. And now it's checking the dependency, so it has access to the RPMs, and it will check for the dependency. It will start the installation process, and soon we will be seeing the RPM packages which will start to be installed on this Pixie client virtual machine. This is all a virtualized environment, so it will go a bit slower than a physical one. Now here you can see the process has started to install packages. I won't cover that entirely, so I just wanted to show you how this looks like. And now that the second part has finished, so the bare metal provisioning, we will continue with the third part, which I want to cover. So the patch capabilities of Enterprise Manager integrated with Oracle Linux, the fact that you can automate patch deployment, so you can install updates on your Oracle Linux systems through the help of Enterprise Manager integration. So for this, I will go to Setup, and then to Provisioning Linux Patching. Here I have already set up a repository. I have set up a host on which I want to install these packages. This is my host, and it points to these two different repositories. So I have an OL6 latest and an OL6 add-ons, just two repositories. I'm not going to show you a full updates of this system, but I will just show you one of the packages being updated. In this case, it will be the HTTPD server. This is 399. This is my guest operating system, which will receive the update. And let's proceed. This is a detailed view with the packages. So it scans these repositories, and you can see a list of a number of packages, advisories, and if they are assigned to a specific group. You have two possibilities with the Enterprise Manager. The Enterprise Manager can become the repository and automatically knows how to pull packages from the ULN, from the Unbreakable Linux network. Or a second choice is to synchronize Enterprise Manager with a local YAM repository. And this is what I'm doing right now. It automatically sees the packages being installed, scans them, and pulls that information to the available clients. So I'll be just installing the HTTPD package. I'm not gonna do a full update. I will select the HTTPD package in my case, and we'll proceed with the installation steps. That will scan automatically for all the HTTPD versions that are available, and by default installs always the latest one. Now it's doing the scan, and here you can see all the available versions of it. I'm just gonna select one and proceed. Also important is to deactivate the timeout, otherwise the update process will take a bit longer. So just press next. We will be selecting our client. In this case, this is 399, which is allocated to the OL6 patching group. And I have already set up the credentials. It's being cached. The information, if you want to do some post installation, in my case, I'm just gonna proceed with the installation. Now a job has been created. You can see it's in the scheduled state. I have a possibility to real time see the update process. I have the possibility to manually refresh as well, so it depends on you. In my case, I have also opened an SSH session, so you can see the IP address is 399. It points to the client being updated now. Trying to have a look in var log messages, and also I will check with rpm-qa to see if the package has already been installed on it. I just want to show you in parallel the fact that this client is updated. So simultaneously we can check in Enterprise Manager interface, but if you'd like, you can also SSH your client just to see. And now I'm gonna do a query just to see the latest version. So 54 is gonna be the latest HTTPD package. And now you can see that it's already there, so it has been installed with the help of Enterprise Manager. And let me show you the log from the OEM13c. In the meanwhile, he's also done a check of all the packages that could be installed on the system, and here you will see a long list of packages. And just at the end, you will see the HTTPD. Yeah, here it is, the HTTPD tools. That's a prerequisite, a dependency that's needed for HTTPD, and you can see it's the version 54 that has been deployed right now with a successful state. Um, you have seen the client is okay from this, but from the Enterprise Manager there are still some checks being done, and some yum refresh commands in the background. So we will wait just a little bit more. You can also refresh, and now you can already see after the latest refresh the status is succeeded. So now from Enterprise Manager point of view, also the package is successfully deployed on the client. This concludes our session. As I said, just a small summary. Oracle Linux integration with Enterprise Manager Cloud Control, the possibility to monitor Oracle Linux systems, virtual or physical, the possibility to create bare metal provisioning, so automatic deployments of Oracle Linux systems, and also the possibility for automatic patch deployment, so to update your systems, your Oracle Linux systems. That's also possible with this integration between Oracle Linux and Enterprise Manager Cloud Control 13c and also 12c. Thank you very much for your attention.